morning, everyone, and welcome back to ECCMID TV. I am very honored to introduce our next guest in this TV studio. Through live stream here is Professor Maurizio Sanguinetti, President of the Executive Committee of ESCCMID. Hello,
Morning.
Maurizio.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Hello.
We're very glad
Hello.
to have you here with us.
It's a pleasure for me. Unfortunately, this year the situation is quite original for our Congress. It is impossible to be in presence, but I am very happy to welcome all the participants to our Congress, to the Congress of European Society of Clinical Microbiology Infectious Diseases for this year. Is fully online due to the well-known problems with the pandemic, but we are very proud. We hope that we are able to offer to our members a very comprehensive and interesting Congress.
Do you see any challenges ahead with the way we are organizing the ECCMID this year?
Oh yes, because this year was a completely different story. Unfortunately, last year the Congress was cancelled due to the very active pandemic. But this year it was impossible to not have the ECCMID still in 2021. So of course we were forced to have a fully online Congress. We tried to have an hybrid format, but it was impossible due to the situation. So we, in particular, Professor Morangila, who is the program director, built and all the program committee of the Congress that I thanks a lot for their invaluable work, put in place a very nice, in my opinion, of course, I have a little conflict of interest for this, but I think that this Congress will be very interesting from the scientific point of view and also for other points of view, quite new, because we try to introduce some novelties, in particular, some not strictly scientific aspect of the Congress, such as the ECCMID Art Gallery, which is a very nice initiative related to the presence of some art presentation regarding, of course, the infectious disease and bacteria, and also the slam poetry workshops, which is a total novelty for our Congress. So, of course, science, but not only science, and I think that it can be nice.
Yes, not only science. Are you a talented artist yourself as well?
Not exactly. I'm not an artist. I am a modeler. So I built some smaller production of ships, for instance.
Oh, wow.
So it's not exactly art, but I like very much art. So I think that this is important to have some parallels between our scientific activity and also the activity of our mind, not strictly related to science. So
Absolutely.
I think that this is very interesting.
Yes, yes. Well, zooming into the science part a little bit more, are there specific program elements that you are particularly looking forward to this ECCMID?
Yes, in general, I think that we put in place a very comprehensive Congress because we had a lot of registrants, and this is nice in time of pandemic because we at the moment have more than 9,000 registrants over 130 countries, and this is very interesting. We received a lot of abstracts for the Congress, and we received overall more or less 5,000 abstracts and over 3,500 have been accepted, and I've been organized in several sessions. So we received a lot of science, and also this year we try to select the more appealing and the more interesting data. I think also that we organized a lot of sessions because we have very comprehensive. We have 12 tracks in the same time, and this is very challenging also from the online point of view, but it seems that it was all well, so we are very happy about this. So our members can select the most important, most appealing part of the science in which are interested. Of course, for sure, the COVID-19 is an important actor of this Congress, but it's not the only one, because I think that it's very important to focus our attention also on other topics, on other infectious disease topics, because the other diseases unfortunately are still present and our patients still suffer from this disease, probably also much more because the attention, the resources sometimes are very focused on COVID-19, but the other important topic that we normally treat normally evaluate in the Congress are still present with very good science.
Do you feel that the ECCMID committee has managed to create a nice balance in content-wise? So not too much COVID-19, but...
This was exactly our challenge. So the idea is not to focus only on COVID. Of course, COVID had to be present because even if we have some good results for vaccine and we have some reduction of the infections on the cases, of course, we have some problems such as the variant of concern that are still present. We are this very well-known Delta variant, which is active in some part of the world. So we have to be very careful about these problems with the pandemic, but we have to focus also on other topics also related to COVID, because we have to keep in mind that, of course, the COVID also sometimes is the point of start of other diseases. And I think to the so-called long COVID, so the long-term problems related to the disease, and this is very important, sometimes not strictly related to an infectious problem, but also to other diseases such as bloodstream infection, pneumonitis, etc., that are sometimes effect of the COVID. So the idea is to construct a very well-balanced program, not only focused on COVID. COVID is an important part, but is, as I previously stated, not the only part. And I think that this is important for our members.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yes. Are there particular keynote lectures or other topics that have caught your specific interest on a more personal level?
Yes, the keynote lecture are all very, very interesting. From my point of view, this is my personal point of view. I will love a lot of course, all the the keynote lecture are very interesting. This is not a list. But no. For me, this is my very personal opinion. I will follow with great attention the keynote lecture of Arturo Casadevall about virulence, because bacterial and in general microorganism virulence. This is a very important point, a very important topic of research. Of course, from the basic point of view, because we have to know still a lot about the mechanism of virulence of microorganisms, because we know a lot, but not all, and also because evaluating the virulence is possible also to find some new targets for action for new drugs, not only antibiotics, but also other drugs that are able to counteract the activity of virulence factors and similar. So also it's very nice the keynote lecture on metaproteomics, which is a quite new approach to the problem, to the infectious problem from another point of view. Also, this is important from the ESCMID point of view. So we have to look at all the point of views to stress a problem, an infectious problem, which is now probably still very important, because sometimes infectious diseases seems to be not neglected, but not at the top of the interest. But unfortunately, a very small virus blocked the world for more than 1 year. And we have to keep in mind this, because it is very important, fortunately, and I underline, unfortunately, infectious diseases are still present, and research on this topic is of pivotal importance also at the world level. So also all the stakeholders have to keep in mind that, unfortunately, microorganisms are still present and can cause very, very severe situation, also from the political and social point of view, because if you think what means the pandemic from a social and political point of view is really, really incredibly serious.
Absolutely.
Look,
There's no
not
denying
only to
the importance of microorganisms anymore.
incredible.
No.
It's incredible.
Yeah, so the role for this society is clearer than ever. You must be very proud of this broad and diverse program that has been put together. Where will you yourself be following the program? Are you from home or from work logging in?
Yes, now I am at work because, of course, unfortunately, pandemic is still active.
Yes.
So it was impossible, it's necessary for me. And of course, I am happy for this because this is my work. This is my life, for sure. I am clinical microbiologist, so I am from the microorganism point of view and not from the patient point of view, but still in this emergency, the role of the diagnostics and so the role of clinical microbiologists is very important. So yes, I am at work and I will follow the Congress when I have time. And this is also interesting because, of course, the in-person, the face-to-face Congress, the format of Congress is still the most appealing and most important because we need to meet person, to speak in person with colleagues, with friends.
To truly connect.
Yes, this is critical because sometimes we have a lot of friends around the world and the only possibility to meet this person is at the Congress. So the Congress is important not only to exchange science, but also to exchange friendships and human contact. But taking account again, this is impossible this year. Of course, the possibility to connect with the platform, with this very complex organization put in place for this Congress is very useful. There are, of course, some disadvantages, and of course, the impossibility to meet person is a very important disadvantages, but also there are some advantages because it's possible to connect from several parts in the world in the same time. So it's possible also to have more attendees from this point of view, more far attendees that are sometimes it is impossible to ever travel for the Congress, but this year is possible because the Congress is virtual, so it's all around the world. And the other possibilities is that all the presentations, all the sessions will be recorded. So it's possible to look at this presentation also tomorrow, in a month, in 2 months,
at any convenient time.
And yes. This is very useful. This is probably an advantage. So we have to keep in mind this for the future editions of the Congress. Will be, of course, in person, I hope. But of course, we have to learn this lesson and we have to implement, and this is exactly the idea of the executive committee, to implement the virtual part of the educational. You know very well that ESCMID, one of the most important mission of ESCMID is also educational on the field of clinical microbiology and infectious disease, and probably this necessity to counteract the pandemic will be very useful for us as a society to implement new, much more, because are still in place, but we can implement much more this type of learning possibilities.
Well, you said it excellently. Yes. I think it's also our attendees are very lucky that you took the time to come in here via live stream for a personal warm welcome to everyone and to really kickstart this ECCMID 2021. Are there any other things you would like to share with our audience for now?
Yes, but first of all, I want to thank all our members for the participation to this Congress. This was very important for us as executive committees because we try to do our best in these difficult times, and we try to organize, of course, ECCMID, but also other online activities, such as last year the ECCMID, the first Congress on coronaviruses, and also several other educational activities online. So we try to do our best also to inform our members about the activities of the society and also about the development of the pandemic. We put in place several activities on this. So in any case, we are very, very grateful to our members and for the participation, because I think that the numbers of the Congress are important, in my opinion. And this is important for us because these demonstrate that our members are still linked to the society. And of course, this is the major important point for us, try to maintain and to implement these links about our members. We try to do this every day during this time, and I hope that this is probably this goal was reached, because of course as stated before, we received a lot of abstracts, very good science, and I think that this is very nice. Another important point, not strictly scientific, but I think is very important. I am very proud that more than 50% of the faculty is represented by women, and this I am very, very happy about this. This is very, very important because, in my opinion, of course, each of us have sometimes a small view of the story. In my lab, I have more or less 70% of women working.
Oh, wow.
But yes,
yeah.
This is normal in microbiology field. But sometimes when we participate to a congress, these percentages are not respected. So sometimes when we have speakers, the chairs of the session are sometimes too much men and not women. So this was an idea about this. This is very important. It's very important target for the society. We worked a lot on this, and of course, this is also a good achievement obtained by Jacob Moran-Gillard and the program committee, which selected the speakers and the chairs. But I'm very proud about these results this year. If I remember well, for the first time, we are more women than men. Yes. in the faculty. And
I recall Jacob saying that.
This is a good result. I don't know. I think this is important.
Great. Well, I'd like to thank you for taking the time for coming in and speaking to our viewers.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, I'm wishing you a wonderful ECCMID 2021 as well.
Thank you.
Next up in our next hour of broadcasting at 12 at noon, we will start off with our Lucky Wheel of Fortune. So make sure you tune in and enter in via the live chat if you want to make a chance at winning some really great prizes. Hope to see you then. Thank you, Maurizio. Goodbye.
Goodbye to all the attendees of the Congress. And thank you to you.
Thank you.